I've really been enjoying my random campaign. I like what's going on with the Saloon Girl and the Marshal, but what it's not giving me is that trip through the actual mission packs or through the other worlds in a sequential narrative fashion. And with the randomness, I may not get to all the things that I want to see, all the monsters I want to fight. So I've decided to set up another group and go through actual missions as they were written in the books. So let me introduce you to the new posse. The new posse, which is going to go through the adventures such as the Caverns of Cinder, Derelict Ship, or mission packs, that sort of thing, to do them in order the way intended, is going to be, I really wanted to go for kind of a buddy, good guy, bad guy, buddy vibe, like from some of the old westerns or a cop and robber kind of movie. So I decided to go with the Bandito and the Lawman. So the Bandito here, he of course is the bad guy, and the Lawman here, he is the good guy. And they're going to team up, and they're going to go through adventures, and the way they team up will come out here in just a couple minutes. And then from a name standpoint, really, Blondie and Tuco is always sort of the you jump to from the good and the bad and the ugly. I thought about that really hard. I almost went there because I wanted the Old West theme. And then I thought back to, the Wild Bunch, where, you got Deke, who was the friend turned lawman, and then Pike, who was the bandit, who's still a bandit and an outlaw. Great old movie, but decided against that ultimately, and decided I'm going to go something a little more contemporary. So the lawman is Dan, and the bandito is Ben out of 310 to Yuma, a little bit more modern take on this genre and this trope. So these are our guys. They're going to be fighting things like the vampires and the werewolves, and maybe get up into the derelict ship and go against the flesh stalkers. So we'll see how this all goes, and so join me in just a moment and we will get them started on their first adventure. But before that, I should actually set the characters up, don't you think? So the lawman comes out of the Swamps of Death core box. He has a range attack of 4, a melee of 4, health is 12, sanity is 12, and his initial ability, laying down the law, once per attack he can reroll one of his to hit rolls. He also comes with some personal items. He comes with the Sheriff's Badge, which allows him to give all heroes +2 shots with a gun, or +2 combat during their next activation. He has his Peacekeeper pistol, range 6, 3 shots. And then I chose for him Strong Leadership because I tend to get my heroes hurt. So whenever the posse marker moves a space on the depth track, he can heal a wound or sanity from himself and every other hero on the map tile. Now he also gets a personal item, so I'll shuffle these up. And he gets shackles. That's actually pretty apropos. +1 strength, and once per adventure he can cancel and redraw an exploration token. That's pretty good. Alright, and that came out of the Swamps box. The Bandito, on the other hand, is out of the City of Ancients box. And bring him up. Get out of my way! He has a range to hit of 5, a melee of 4+, 16 health, but only 8 sanity. And his ability is Wild Card. He can recover 1 grit on a move of a 1 or a 2. Now he normally starts with just a pistol, but I took for his upgrade twin guns, so he can fire 2 guns per turn, ignoring the penalty for dual wielding, and gets his extra pistol to start with. So that's good. And then his starting personal item, shuffle up. I know that it won't be the adventure boots, and I know that it won't be the poncho, because those are in use by the Saloon Girl and the Marshal. So he draws spectacles. He is getting to be older. That actually goes with the story as well. +1 cunning, and once per turn he may reroll 1 missed to hit roll. So that'll be good since his range is just a 4. I did not go for the Satchel of Dynamite because I always forget to use dynamite even when I have it. I will pull their starting tokens here in a minute. I don't think there's anything else to do. That's everything that we're done. I'll get their... I'm probably just going to give the Bandito a whiskey, and I will give the Lawman a bandage to start with. Alright, their adventure begins here momentarily. So our Lawman, Dan, has been chasing our Bandito, Ben, across the plains and the desert, through Mexico, through Texas, and then all the way here, getting close to Brimstone, tracking him down for all of his outlaw deeds. The Bandito, on the other hand, is finally tired of all this. He's getting older, he's tired of running around, and he decides he's going home to see his family. So he comes all the way into town, and he finds nothing but a destroyed town. Claw marks everywhere, torn clothing, and his wife and children are dead. The lawman breaks in, finds him sobbing over his young daughter. He stops, he watches, and he asks him, "What happened here?" Looking up through his tear-filled eyes, the Bandito replies, "I don't know." Then they hear a noise outside, and the lawman, he turns to see a young boy climbing up onto a horse, and they say, what's going on? And the young boy, "Massacre. There has been a massacre." He stammers, he's about to fall off his horse, and he said that the whole town was attacked. Everything's torn to shreds like it was a pack of wild animals, but I don't know what kind of creatures could have done that. Barely keeping it together, the boy jumps off his horse again. He stares off into horror, and he looks at them and said, "There was blood everywhere. Houses are on fire, there's screams, and there was howling in the distance. It looked like those that weren't immediately killed ran to take shelter in a nearby cave system. If you hurry, there may still be survivors that can tell you what happened." With that, the boy jumps on his horse and he heads for the hills. So the lawman looks at the Bandito, and the Bandito looks at the lawman, and they have an unspoken truce that they're going to go deal with whatever this is first. Prison can wait. So obviously this is a werewolf adventure, and we're going through the mission pack, the Feralkin mission pack. So this is a normal setup using the Cities of the Ancients cards and map tiles, but I have added all of the cards that come with the Depth Track pack, so some extra Darkness cards, Growing Dread cards, Mine Encounters. There are also encounters, werewolf encounters, put into the deck as well. And then I've used 2 of the other packs, so all the packs that I was using in the other adventure are in there as well, but anything that was drawn by the Marshal or the Saloon Girl are not in play. They are off with them. They don't exist because they've already been used. The mission goal here is the heroes must search the caves for any survivors. Special rules, it's a werewolf adventure. Duh. Fast darkness. This is horrible. Whenever the darkness moves forward on the depth track, because a hold back the darkness roll was failed, it moves an extra space. And then grisly discoveries. Whenever you find a clue icon, you've discovered the grisly remains of what was once a human. Draw D3 Growing Dread cards. And the objective is to find the last survivor. So we want to get to number 11 on the depth track space, and then the next clue icon, including if we flip one on that space, you roll a D6 to find out whether someone is alive, whether they were a feast for the werewolves, or whether they are transforming into a werewolf. That's really it, and if we win, we win. If we don't, well, we take corruption, and we have problems going to town. And at the start of each adventure with werewolves, you have to draw what pack you're dealing with. So we are dealing with the Scratched Badges. Legendary for their ruthless brand of twisted justice, the Scratched Badges are a band of U.S. Marshals that have all fallen to the werewolf's curse. With their newfound power and a touch of lunar madness, they have gone rogue, setting out to destroy any who they deem unlawful or unworthy, using their gift to savagely get the job done. So, the Scratch Badges have the keywords Law and Traveler, and their combat hits are +2 damage against any outlaw hero, as well as +1 damage for each corruption point the target has. Well, no corruption, but we've got an outlaw. That could be problematic. The other rules for them being werewolves are that any time that you would pull a threat card on a 1, 2, or 3 on a D6, you're attacked by werewolves instead. In this case, because there's 2 heroes and they're level 1, it's just 1 werewolf feral kin. And you roll to see if they have a trait or not. So that's really everything. I've shuffled up all the cards. The werewolf encounters don't get mixed in. I don't know why I said that. Their encounters are separate. You draw them instead on a roll of a 1, 2, or 3. So really 1, 2s, and 3s are bad in this game. And but there are darkness gear and other things in there specific to the werewolves. So if they pull those, that's great. If they don't, well, then they go back in the box for next time. Alright, so as the start of every turn goes, roll back the darkness. Let's see if these heroes do better than my other group. And they do hold back the darkness. Now the Lawman has an initiative of 4. The Bandito has 3, so the Lawman gets to go first. He goes 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. He'll scavenge since, well, they have nothing and they're brand new. And he gets nothing. Now the Bandito can go 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He'll scavenge. They haven't even gotten out of the mine yet. And he gets nothing. So, let's go see if we can hold back the darkness. And they do. Lawman's turn. 3. 1, 2, 3. He's going to look through the door for 5 experience. And he will draw a map card. A long passage, no exploration token. So we'll put that on. And now our Bandito gets to move 6. And I will pull this back because he has made it all the way to the next stage. And he's going to take 5 experience. No, he's going to scavenge. And he gets 2. Useful discovery. Draw a gear card and 10 experience. I don't know what he did with his 5 experience. Okay, a gear card, and he draws Beast Hunter's Rifle. Range 10, 2 shots, +1 damage, or +3 against a beast enemy. Once per turn you may use as the D8 for damage with one of your hits with this gun. Huh. Man, he might have to trade that over to the Lawman. And then his second, a small find, 25 gold and 10 experience. Bandito's doing pretty good so far. And I did shuffle those up pretty good. And now it's Hold Back the Darkness. Double threes. Creeping darkness. The darkness is always searching for a way out. Move the darkness 2 steps forward on the depth track. Which means we pull a darkness card. Tentacles from the void. Massive tentacles erupt from the floor, savagely lashing out at the heroes. Ambush attack P. Peril dice tentacles. 3 tentacles. Let me get those. So an interesting question. Well, it says when you would draw 1 or more encounters, see if it's a werewolf encounter, and then it says whenever a threat card would be drawn, you roll. So there is no threat card on this one, so it is the tentacles. So on a 1, 2, 3, they go for the bandito first. 4, 5, 6, the lawman. So the lawman is the one that's going to get hit by 2, and the bandito by 1. So tentacles, melee 4+, combat 3, damage 3, but if they roll a 6, they ignore defense. That can put the hurt on people, especially these low-level characters. Now they're initiative 2, but they get +2 for ambush, which means they actually get to go first. So 6 attacks on the lawman, and 3 attacks on the bandit. So red will be the bandit, and white will be the lawman. So 2 hits on the lawman, 1 on the bandit. Let's see if they can defend. One of them ignores the defense, so 1 goes through. And they are both 4+ for their health rolls, and they both survive. So 3 damage to the lawman. Now the lawman gets to go. His combat is 2, but he's got his 3-shot pistol. He hits on 4s. He has nothing to help re-roll at this point, so 2 hits. Their defense is 2 with a health of 4. So we'll put the first one on this one. So he does 1 damage on that one again. He does another 1 damage, so 2 total damage. That's pretty weak. And then the bandito gets to go, and he is dual wielding, so 4 shots. He hits on a 5. Yeah, 5s, and he gets to reroll 1 because of his spectacles. So he's got 1 critical and 2 regular hits. So he's going to do the critical on the one right in front of him to start with, because if he can get a 4, nope. He's going to use his grit to reroll that. So he gets a 4 and kills this one. So that is 30 experience for him. Then he's going to do the next one on this. Get rid of his grit so I don't. On this same one here, that he's within range. Can't reroll that one. Same thing. 6. So he kills this one now. So he gets another 30 experience. And now it is time to hold back the darkness. And they do. Now this time the lawman gets to go first. So he gets a critical and 2 hits on his critical. He does 1 damage. And then on his 2 regulars, he does enough to kill him. So he gets 30. They get to catch their breath. So the lawman will do D3. He gets 3, so that heals his 3 wounds. And then our Bandito is just going to take the grit. He didn't get a chance to go that turn. And then they each get to draw a loot card. So the Lawman gets to go first. He draws an artifact card and gets 20 experience. The Bandito, D6 times 50 gold nuggets. He gets 50 gold nuggets. But he gets 20 experience as well. And an artifact. Hopefully this will be good. Mine artifacts. Bloodborne Pistol. Range 7 shots, 2 +1 damage for each blood splatter space the hero posse marker has passed. Not including the current space, max of +3. Okay. It's 2 shots instead of... So we'll hold that until we get past a blood splatter. And that is that turn. So hold back the darkness. They do not, which means it goes 2, which means it actually hits another darkness card. Ancient Hate. All tribal heroes are now +1 damage on combat hits, both to and from beast and void enemies. Well, I have no tribal, so it doesn't matter. Let me get rid of this. Alright, the Lawman moves 6. So he is going to peek through the door, peer into the darkness. Summoning Chamber. So let me get the Summoning Chamber. And then I've pulled out all of these advanced ones. So instead of doing... I just do that encounter unless it calls for extra encounters. Maybe if they get up to a higher level, I'll do something different. Okay, I put the summoning circle on. I can't remember if I did the exploration tokens or not, if I mixed them up. My last game had a bunch of clue tokens right on top, so if I didn't, that would make this a very short game. Alright, now it's the Bandito's turn. He will take the grit, but he's not going anywhere just in case what may happen here. So end of turn, 2 doors, that's okay, and encounter times 2. So we've got the summoning circle encounter, and now we have to roll to see if it's a werewolf encounter or a regular encounter. It is a werewolf encounter. So, the werewolf encounters. Bullet from a dead man's gun. A shredded body lays here, leaning up against one wall. A gun hanging loosely from his hands. This looks like it may have been a last stand against a terrible beast. A cunning 6+ test. If successful, every hero may recover a grit, and the hero making the test may take this card. Discard this card to make one of your gun hits into a silver bullet shot, even if you are not a gunslinger. Okay. And then Summoning Circle. A runic summoning circle is marked out on the floor here, surrounded by burning candles. Someone has been dabbling in some very dark stuff. Hopefully they didn't succeed in doing whatever it was they were trying to do. You can try and break the circle with a lore 6+. So choose one person. If successful, gain 50 experience. If failed, you get attacked and draw a threat card, one threat level higher than normal. Or we can ignore it, move on, and do a Luck 4 test. If failed by any hero, move the darkness 2 steps forward on the depth track. Alright, well let's do this Cunning 6 test first. Which maybe that's how the werewolves got here. They were drawn to this summoning circle. Alright, Cunning. Alright, the Lawman has a Cunning of 4, so he's going to do it. Does not look like there's any downside to this. Oh! You know what? He wants those bullets, so we're going to use a grit to reroll those. Alright, he gets it. So every hero can recover a grit. And he can get silver bullet shot. One of your hits into a silver bullet shot. So the silver bullet shot, discard a silver bullet shot token to ignore the endurance ability of an enemy for one of your ranged hits with a gun. That hit also doubles the damage roll if against a beast enemy, or triples the roll if it's against a werewolf. Good to know, good to have. Triple damage. Alright, so does anybody have decent lore? Bandito has a lore of 3. Or a luck of 3. Yeah, but everybody have to do it. So we're going to do, the Bandito is going to try the lore 6 test. And he makes it. So he gets 50 experience. And, well, that's it. He gets 50 experience. Those are the 2 encounters. And I guess we have to hold back the darkness now. Oh! Falling rubble. The rocky ceiling of the mine shaft is unstable and prone to collapse. Each hero in the mine takes d6 hits. Red will be the Bandito, white will be the Lawman. Oh, okay, the Lawman will roll for his defense. 4. So he makes it. And now 6 for the Bandito. So he takes 3 damage. 1, 2, 3. And now the Lawman will move. 2. 1, 2. Now the band, and he'll scavenge. What the heck? And he gets 1. He gets nothing here. 10 experience. You know, I don't ever complain about getting the nothings. Alright, now the Bandito. Well, he already has his max grit, so he'll do his 1 plus another roll. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he is going to peek through the door, and actually this should take us to here. And every time, let me look at his ability here. Whenever the hero posse marker moves a space on the depth track, heal 1 wound or sanity. So he will heal a wound from the Bandito. And it is a T-junction, no exploration token. This is... no exploration token. So the Bandito can scavenge the next room. And he doesn't find anything. And I'll just remember that that's been scavenged. Can't remember half the rules, but I can remember it's been scavenged. Alright. Hold back the darkness. We do not, which means it goes 2. Wow. So Growing Dread card. Can I change it so that the mission ends now? we've still got to get to 11, so we got to go find some more. So lawman moves 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We'll move this one more. He will peek through the door. Draw a map tile. Another, just a no exploration token cross passage. Okay. I mean, I guess I should be happy about that. So here's a cross passage. They have looked through another door, which means he can heal another wound from the Bandito. Bandito rolls 2. He would get... Oh, he does recover... No. So he just gets to go 1, 2. And now, time to hold back the darkness. Can we do it? No, we don't. Which means it goes 2. Holy smokes, which is another darkness card. Whispering Voices. Each hero takes d6 horror hits, and also one random hero must pass a Spirit 4 test or immediately roll on the Madness table. Alright, so let's do the horror hits first. Red is the Bandito. 4 and 5. So 5 for the Lawman. His willpower is 4, so he takes 1 sanity. And then 4 for the Bandito, whose willpower is not as good. And he takes all... He's going to burn a grit to reroll that. That would be half of his sanity gone. Well, that's better, so only 2 this time. So he takes 2 sanity. And... the lawman will move. He can move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. He is going to look through the room. We are now on 11, which means that the next clue we find means we have found the end. Draw a map card. A rail tunnel. Exploration token. Now it's the Bandito's turn. Ooh, he can go 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to stop there. That's the end of the turn. And we have an encounter. Or we got the clue token. So, once the hero posse marker reaches the space marked 11 on the depth track, the heroes are getting close, including any clue on the current exploration token if the 11 space was just reached. It's the location of the last survivor. Ignore any attacks or encounters, and ignore any door or gate icons. Reveal all growing dread cards. So let's start with the growing dread cards. From the far reaches of the void, shadows break through the barriers into our reality, hungry to feed on the light. Every hero immediately takes 1 horror hit for each other card in the growing dread stack and discard pile. And doesn't matter, there are no others. This is our only growing dread card. So that was pretty sweet. Now we have to roll. It's the d6 plus a d6 plus the darkness. So our darkness is 8. So alive is not going to happen. So we have 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 means feast for the werewolves. You're too late. A pack of vicious werewolves crowds around the body of the last survivor, feeding on what remains. attack. D3 werewolves. So D3 werewolves. So 2 werewolves attack. So 2 werewolves are going to attack. We have to roll on a 1, 2, or 3. They actually get a trait as well as. Well, so of course let's draw their random trait. The smell of fear. These enemies prioritize targets based on heroes that currently have the most sanity damage, highest to lowest. They gain +1 damage on their combat hits for every 2 sanity damage the target hero had on him at the start of the activation. Ooh, that's kind of nasty. So, werewolves are initiative 9. They have fear 2. Ferocious attack. This enemy's base contact is equal to the target's hero level. Okay, well, we're level 1. They ignore armor, don't have any. Any hero KO'd by a werewolf must roll a d6 to see if they're cursed. They hit on 3s and do 6 damage. 0 defense, but 14 health. Okay. So let's get them. Doesn't matter with that initiative and that. With that initiative and that level of movement, doesn't matter. I can place them across town and they'd still be the first ones there. Alright, so they target based on who has the most sanity damage. Well, they opened up 1. So they're going to attack the Bandito. They get to go first, so there's no point in even worrying about it. So we just move them straight up there. And of course they target him because they get +2 damage. I think he's going to die. Does not have any corruption points, that's good. He has 1 sanity. So the werewolves, they only get 1 attack each, which is good. So just make sure there's no like extra attacks or anything. Nope. Alright. So they've got 1 hit. They don't get anything for the 6. And he will try and defend it. And he actually does defend. Wow, that's good. Alright. So now in initiative order, our lawman gets to attack. Ooh, so the question is, I think he is going to use his bloodborne pistol. It's 2 shots, but +1 damage for each, so he's +1 damage. So he has, well, they've got no defense, so criticals don't matter. He hits on a 4. I think he's just going to let it ride on that. He's going to do the one right in front of him. So he does 2 damage. That is not that great. But he does get 10 experience. Now the Bandito gets to go. He is dual pistoling, 2 shots each. He gets 2 hits. He's going to do it on the same one. Oh no, his range is 5. He only got 1 hit. He's going to use his grit. And I forgot to move, and I forgot to do horror. I'll do that in just a second. So he gets 1 more hit out of it. So fear 2. So 2 horror hits. So actually I guess it's 4 horror hits, each of them, because there are 2 of them adjacent to him. So red will be the Bandito. Let's put these aside. These are his hits. Red is the Bandito. White is the Marshal. So they take 3 horror each. That's not good for the Bandito, who doesn't have real high sanity. And then move for the lawman. Nope. Move for the bandito. Oh, so he does get a grit. He gets grit. And now his damage. He's just going to do both on this same one. So he does 6, 7, 8, 9 more damage to him. So that takes him up to 11 damage. Getting close. So that's 11 damage. So he did 9. So he gets some experience for that. And now, hold back the darkness. They do not. Which means another darkness card because it jumps 2. Full Moon. All beast enemies are now +2 combat and +2 health. Oh no. Okay. So, it is now 6 attacks. 1 attack each. Bandito still has, he's still got the most sanity damage. They have 1 attack, but now they are +2 combat and +2 health. So, attacking the Bandito, and oof. This is enough that could kill him. Oh, he's going to use his grit to reroll these. Oh, because their damage is 6. Yikes. Alright, well, that is enough. Oh wait, no, his health is 16. Well, that's 18 damage, so they just killed the Bandito. But he'll use the revive token to pop right back up. And now he doesn't have the most sanity. So now it is the sheriff's turn. He's going to use the Bloodborne pistol. He is going to use his grit to reroll that, getting 1 hit. 6, 7 damage. Their defense is, oh, they have +2. So he still has enough to kill him because they're now 16. So that takes him up to 17 wounds. So he does 11, 6 damage. So that is experience points. That's a dead. And now it is the, oh, Almond to move. Oh, he gets a grit. So the memory card filled up. I was just about to do the 4 horror hits that I forgot on the Lawman. So, because he still had 2 adjacent to him when it started. So he saves 3. He takes 1 sanity. However, he has the most sanity damage now, so he will be the target come next turn. Bandito's turn, he takes, so first to move, no grit. He takes 2 sanity hits, and he fails them both. Now he will attack with his 2 pistols. He hits on 5s. Wow. And I've been forgetting that he gets the 1 roll for his glasses, so still didn't do anything. 2 critical and a regular, so we'll make a red dice a regular. So see how much damage. Oh my goodness. He will definitely use his grit to re-roll that mess. Much better. So he gets 8 for the criticals. And let's see, so there's no difference on the defense, so he gets 12 damage. Still has a defense of 0. So 12 damage. Bandito's got a lot of experience. The Lawman has not. Alright, so that is the end of that turn. So now we need to hold back the darkness. And a 7. Yep, 7 does pass because we're just on number 11. Now, Werewolf is attacking the Lawman this go round. So they have the 1 base combat because they're 1 level. But, oh, and I forgot the 2+ extra damage on the Bandito, but it doesn't matter because the first round killed him anyway. So it just made him more dead. No one has corruption hits, so we are still in just +2 combat and +2 health. So 3 attacks on the Lawman, 1 hit. Got lucky. Can he defend it? He does not defend it. So that's 6 damage. He'll just take the damage. And hopefully they can kill him this turn. Alright, so now the Lawman takes his... he goes to move. Horror hits. Oh, he doesn't. He takes 2 horror hits. So... then he... +1 damage for every 2 sanity damage. So actually he takes 7 wounds. I mean 8 wounds instead of 6, because he had 4 sanity at that point. Alright. So now he's going to attack with his Bloodborne pistol. He's got 1 hit. He gets +1 damage for 5 damage. Still has a defense of 0. So that takes him up to 17. He only needed the 4 to kill him, so he kills him. That's 4. It's 25 experience. And they have killed him. They can catch their breath. So he gets to heal 1 wound. They get, oh, and the Bandito can get a grit. And they each get a loot card. And it's the end of the mission, but I think they failed because of how long it took them to get there. So the Lawman gets D3 Darkstone, 2 Darkstone, and 20 experience. And the Bandito gets 30 experience. He's getting a lot of experience, but not much in the way of gold, and 25 more gold. This was not a lucrative adventure for them. And that is the end. The mission is won if they find them alive. They did not find them alive. So they can't draw a gear card and they don't get the extra 50 bucks. If it's failed, they take D3 corruption hits as they are scared by the horrors they have witnessed. Also, the local towns are scared. Heroes may not spend more than 2 days in town during their next town stay. Okay, well, that's okay. So, corruption hits. Red is the Bandito. White is the Marshal. 1 for the Bandito, 2 for the Marshal. Let's try their saves for corruption. So the Marshal takes 1 corruption. And now they finished. They're going to leave the mines. As they get ready to travel, they heal all their wounds and their sanity. They do not heal corruption, unfortunately. They will don't need to use bandages. They need to roll for corruption, so the lawman has 2 darkstone, so he will roll for corruption for those. So 1 corruption hit, he will roll to see if he saves it. He does not, so he takes a 2nd corruption. So they have left, they are leaving the mines, and in the next episode they will travel to town for no more than 2 days. Dan and Ben seem to be doing okay, and they survived, but they did not find any surviving townspeople. When we return, they will figure out what kind of town they're going to, and then that will determine what travel hazards there are. So there was one last bit of business that I missed that we need to do, and that is after they took those D6 horror hits, one random hero was supposed to take a Spirit 4 test or roll on the madness table. So first, a 1, 2, 3, it's the lawman. 4, 5, 6, it is the bandito. And it is a 4. So it is the bandito, a spirit test. He has a spirit of 3, so it is a spirit 4, and if he fails this, he has to roll on the madness table. And he passes, so we are good to go.